going on? So as you can tell from that intro, some of you may know, I found the source of my leak. What's going on is I have a fuel leak. If you remember back when I had the frozen filter problem, when I had to re-bleed my system, when I was bleeding my number 4 injector line, it must not be seated properly. There must be something on the end of it going from the connector tube to the fuel line. So what I'm going to have to do is loosen that up, see if there's anything on the end of it, because I can't get it to seal back up. So as you can tell from that intro, I do have my pluck. My pluck? No, not my pluck. I'm trying to put two words together and it doesn't work. As you can tell, or you can't tell, I have to tell you, I do have my truck plugged in. It's about 28 degrees out, and that's pretty hard starting. So it shouldn't have started that hard by letting the grid heater heat up and also with the truck plugged in. So what it's doing is allowing the fuel to bleed off on that number 4 injector, which that's one of them that you have to bleed if you have a dry system. So I'm gonna have to try and see if I can get that seated up, or I'm gonna have to try and see if I may have to buy a new line for the number 4s, or just buy a whole new set of lines. The lines are pretty expensive. They're right around $100 a piece. So if I don't have to, I really don't want to buy a new set of fuel lines. You know, there's 6 of them, so it'd be, you know, just a little over $600 with tax and shipping and stuff. So we'll get it pulled in the garage there and see if we can't figure something out. I have somebody standing out here. He walked away. My son's out in the garage, playing with his drift trike and also riding it through the driveway. So we'll get it pulled in the garage and see if we can't figure out and see if we can get it sealed up. I do have some other stuff that I'm working on also behind the scenes. I'm going to have a merchandise release. Check in my description for my merch link. And then also there is a patron link to become a patron of the channel. And then there's also links below for all the products and tools that I use. And if you haven't already done so, why don't you do me one quick thing. See right down there in your lower right hand screen, click that button right there and subscribe to the channel. That way you're up to date on everything that I do and you don't have to go back and watch any of my previous videos, which you can do that also if you want. Well, as you can see from right there, there's going to be no pulling the truck in the garage today because my wife has a painting project going on for actually me. I'm doing the painting project. So anyway, sitting outside working on that just a little bit, getting that painted up for her. That is a magic curtain. She has a curtain that goes over it for one of her dances for the kids at the studio. I wish I could pull the truck in the garage. I know it doesn't fit all the way, but at least it'd be a little bit warmer up here. But I'm gonna grab my carburetor cleaner and I'll start the truck up and I'll spray around the fitting where number 4 line's going in. You'll be able to see the fuel coming down out of there. Actually, what caught my eye was I was doing something else and I saw the bubbles coming out around the threads. Just like a gas line leak, not gas line as far as gasoline, but gas as far as like natural gas, propane, something like that. It'll bubble the same way once you spray your stuff on there to do a leak test. So I don't know what I'm going to do to try and get it fixed. I'm going to try and pull the nut completely out of there, the retaining nut for the fuel line. Maybe take some 600 grit or some emery cloth or something like that and clean the end off, going into the connector tube to the injector and see if I can't get it sealed back up. Everything was good and tight and not leaking up until the point where, you know, I had my problems with the frozen filters and had to bleed my system off because my truck was sitting there running and ran all the fuel out of the line. So, you know, it's probably my fault, my neglect. Well, not probably, it is my fault from neglect. Not getting my fuel filters, you know, drained out good enough, not changing them at the proper time when I should. You know, like I told you in that video, around October, no later than October, especially if you live in a colder climate than what I do. I'm in Ohio. You know, I would be getting them fuel filters changed and start running an anti-gel. I run Hot Shots Secret. I say that wrong all the time. There's a link in the below to go and purchase any of my additives, my fuel and stuff like that. Going back on my merchandise, whatever you want to call it, some of my stuff from my channel. I'm going to have some shirts made. The first run shirts was probably going to be on my site. The flag color is white. I have since changed that color to gray, like a light gray, with still has the green and the Chad Meyer 73. I'm going to do some pullover hoodies like what I have on here. I'm going to have some stickers. I can do some ball caps. It's whatever you guys think you might want. Just hit me up and down below and make a comment. Tell me what you want, or DM me on Instagram. Tell me what you'd like to see on there. You know, I'll be glad to put anything on there or pick up and have anything made that you guys want. Just let me know what you need or what you would like to have. There's a link in the description below for, you know, all that. Just tap on that link. It takes you right to my storefront. You can purchase anything you want. So let's go over here and grab my carburetor cleaner and head out there and be cold. One thing else I've done too also is, if you can remember on some of my other previous videos, somebody had taken for them the basically the vapor canister, the puke tube as somebody calls it, and they had routed it clear up and around in the back. What it's initially supposed to have is, as it comes out of this port here, it has a molded rubber hose, and it comes up and makes a 180-degree turn and goes down and goes into a vapor canister. Well, all of that's missing, so I'm either going to pick up that stuff, maybe try and find it at the junkyard, or order it new from someplace, maybe Rock Auto. I'm not real certain, but I want to get that stuff and get it back on there. As you can see, I'm getting snowed on now, so this is going to be kind of a short video. I'm going to start the truck up, and so you can see that coming out, seeping out around the threads of that injector number 4. I believe is the only one that's leaking. When you bleed your injectors, or when you bleed your system off, up top of the injectors, it's 1, 2, and 4. So, you know, I loosened those 3 up. The other 3 don't seem to be leaking, but you can't really tell. As far as number 6 back there, you can't see it because it's clear to the back of the head almost. And number 5, it doesn't look like it's leaking. What I'm doing is I'm taking my carburetor cleaner and I'm spraying around the head to dry it off and get rid of all that diesel residue, so you can see, you know, it drip and seep down the side of the head there. So we'll get the truck started up, and that way you can see it leaking. As you can see from that short little clip there, you know, that seeping down the side of that head. So this is what they had on there, if you can remember from some of my previous videos. Some of you guys that, you know about the trucks, know about the engines, are probably wondering, what the heck is that going up along the side of the head there, so, or the side of the valve cover. That's what that was. Anyway, I think for now, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. If you have not already done so, please subscribe, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget about the merchandise down there in the description. For right now, guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later on. Bye-bye.